All right, awesome. We are live. We fixed the technical issues. Sorry about that, you guys. It wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't have technical issues. Okay, so I'm just gonna go right in and just start, right? Because I am like super, super excited. So I want to give you guys some backstory as well in terms of like the idea behind legacy talks and what we're hoping to achieve, right? So really like I wanted to create something which legacy talks that is it was created because I kept having really powerful conversations behind closed doors, right? Whether it's be a phone call, someone you meet in person at a coffee shop, with investors, entrepreneurs, advisors, everyday people who was building something meaningful. And then I realized like these conversations shouldn't be private. Like there's so many people that could truly benefit from these conversations. So this series really was it's we're going to be pulling back the curtains. We're not just talking about money or the people. We're talking about the people behind it. And the good thing, a lot of you guys know me mainly for real estate. So a lot of our guests, they're not affiliated with real estate. So we're going to be getting a different perspective, but we're also going to show how each guest, their vision, what they've done, and what their goal is tied into, even if you're in the real estate space. So, we're going to be sharing stories, lessons, mistakes, and the legacy everyone is trying to build because we tend to throw around the word legacy all the time. We throw around the word wealth all the time. So each week we'll be sitting down with entrepreneurs, professionals, and investors from all walks of life to honestly talk about wealth, to talk about leadership, faith, business, and the long game that we all talk about. And the name of the show, legacy. So let's dive into it. Today, our first guest is somebody that I truly am excited to introduce. She's a powerhouse in the world of wealth building, leadership, community impact. She's an investment advisor and enterprise consultant with Freedom Financial Consulting. And this is where she focuses on helping families build financial security by investing in people, not just their money, right? So she has a very different perspective, which I'm super excited for her to share. Her expertise spans wealth preservation, multi-generational planning, retirement strategies, asset management, and leadership. And she brings so much wisdom and authenticity into every room she steps in. Okay. So guys, please help me to welcome the incredible Natalie Freeman to the first show.
I was back there doing my dance, girl, because you were
Right.
saying all my buzzwords, wealth management, legacy,
Listen,
all
let's
the things.
go. Listen, I'm super excited to have you on here just sharing. I met Natalie through the Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce and we connected there. We also connected through the MBA program, which we are also a part of. So that is very interesting. She is a wealth of knowledge, right? But I'm going to just stop talking and like I'm gonna just let her dive in. So Natalie, before we dive into your brilliance you bring to the world of the financial world, let's go back for a moment because you've been in finance since the age of 17. You've grown into a respected investment advisor and you've added leadership, ministry, community work along the way. What first really sparked your passion for financial empowerment?
Yeah, so let me first say before I answer the question, thank you so much for having me being the first guest on the podcast. I wish you much success, as you already have in the real estate world and speaking and everything. So thank you so much for having me. I also must disclaim because I do work for an investment advisory firm that I am not here to give any specific advice, just here to educate, motivate,
Yes.
and create mindset shift, y'all. So if you're ready, now we can talk, okay?
Yes,
So what got me all excited about financial empowerment? It was just honestly the environment that surrounded me. I did start when I was 17 years old. Yeah, yes, y'all, right out of high school. I was immersed into a program that really wanted to align us with what we wanted to be when we grew up. So in my church, they partnered me with the administrator and I was the fiscal assistant. But what was the cool thing about my church at the time though? They were all about economic empowerment for the
Mhm.
community. So what do I mean by that? They meant that we were going to use the resources from the church to build the community. So they took the offerings and the tithe from the church, they bought a city block, and from that block they began to stack businesses on it. So we had a one time we had a restaurant, we had a vision care center, we had a senior health facility, and that was just so amazing to me. I was like, oh my goodness, people hear so many bad things about the church.
For
Oh, the
sure.
pastor's using the money. He's going to run away with the money. He's got a jet, all these things. But I saw a different paradigm. I saw a different narrative. They
Mm.
were using the money to create wealth that would go back into the church that would help the people. And so to me, that was just amazing. And it really sparked something in
Your
me.
Pinterest. Oh, that see, that is like I feel like that usually like help us figure out our why, and maybe that light bulb moment to be like, you know what, this is really something that I want to do. But even too, I'm glad that you mentioned this too before. Let's back up a little bit, you guys. And if you guys know me, whether you're in my community on social, I love to tell you, we are not giving you guys financial advice. Every single thing that we're sharing on this platform tonight, on this live, is just from our personal experience, you guys. So if you need advice, consult your attorney, your financial advisor. They're the professional, they're licensed to give you guys all those advice. So everything that we're giving you, take it with a grain of salt. Okay, just take it with a grain of salt. So with that, like really sparking the inspiration between you starting this journey, was there a moment in your life where you're like, you know what, now I'm learning this, but I actually now want to really help more people build legacy? Because you touch on the reason of it, but was a specific thing that happened where you're like, I want to switch the narrative a little bit?
Absolutely. So also, as you all can see, I'm Black American. I'm Black American, right? So in that community, there were just some negative narratives, if you will. One that that we didn't have enough savings, like over 50% don't have $1,000 in their bank account, or you would never see financial advisors in our communities, right? You saw preachers, you saw doctors, lawyers, and you saw some of the other professions, educators, but no financial professionals. And so then I also saw something, and this came from one of my second business. So I've had two businesses now, the investment firm. In my second business, I saw a lot of
Mm,
fear to invest,
yeah.
fear of the market downturns and upswings, and it was just so much fear that it paralyzed us. And
Mm,
so that really gripped me, and I was like, but not everybody else is doing it, but that is a tool that
yeah.
society was using as passive income, generational wealth, intergenerational transfer of wealth, and so I was like, we got to get in.
Yeah.
So again, it was just kind of from a pain point in my heart as I saw my community just, falling behind. And so I wanted to get in the game and I wanted them to get in the game.
But you said something which is very crucial. It's fear. It's also lack of information, because the more conversation I have with people, even with Black entrepreneurs, it's like when I'm telling them stuff, they're like, "Wait, I can do this. I didn't know I could do this." And then because maybe I'm in the space already and I have the information, I'm like, "I thought everyone knows these things." But as you said, like a lot of people truly they don't have access to the information. They don't know where to even start. But they're also scared, which brings me to my next question, is that a lot of people really feel intimidated by investment advisors, right? Or think advisors are only for wealthy people, but you approach it differently because your focus is mainly how can I invest in you first to help you to get to that goal. you mentioned fear, but what other big misconception people have about building wealth or even just working with a financial advisor?
I got two. You ready? I'm going to give you the
Let's
top two. As you said, the first one is you got to be wealthy to
go.
have a wealth advisor.
Yeah.
Well, how do you build wealth without the help of a professional? It's literally about average 65%, 75% um, rate
Hmm.
of completion of a goal or achieving a goal if you have a professional to work with you. So, not just financial advisors, but people who are trying to lose weight, athletes who are trying to win medals, right? Win games. The same with financial advisors. So, why wouldn't you partner with someone who can get you there? Why not partner with somebody who can educate you, motivate you, hold you accountable to the goal, especially if you have a greater chance
Hmm.
of, success? So
Yeah.
that's the first thing. I got to be wealthy, but you got to, if you need a roadmap, right? You need a roadmap to get there that financial professional is at. So that's the first thing. One, people are just, they're thinking I got to be wealthy to, to build wealth. It's like I got to clean my house first before I call the
Yes.
housekeeper. Like, come on, y'all. Like, you're paying good money. Go ahead and just leave that bed unkept. Let them do it. And then
Yes.
the second thing is I have time.
Nah. Don't we
Oh,
all?
I'll invest when.
Yes.
I'll invest when I get to this certain income level.
Mhm.
Oh, 65 is so far away.
Yeah.
I'm just 35. Look, you blink, you cough, you sneeze, you're at 65. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is really the I think number one, even before being wealthy or thinking I need to be wealthy to have a wealth advisor. It's time.
Mhm. It's time.
People
Yeah.
think they have time. And that is the magic, y'all, between in investing, the time value of money. It's really the time. It's really not the rate of return. You can start sooner,
Yeah.
invest a smaller amount, and amass wealth because of the time.
Ah, you know what? And that's me, honestly. And where I just think that I need to have a certain wealth to engage with an investment advisor. Like I need to have a certain amount of money saved up, a certain amount of assets. But as you said, that's a perfect example. If you want to lose weight, you get a personal trainer. When you want to elevate, like you get a coach. Why not get an investment advisor? Like that's a good perspective. Which can you clarify as well? Because we just had this conversation. What is the difference between a financial advisor and an investment advisor?
Oh, good. That's a great question. So they both advise, right? Make recommendations to help someone reach a goal. So, financial advisors can give financial advice or help people synergize or provide some synergies between what they have and where they're trying to go. And so they can give it the advice that regards your finances in some degree. While
Yeah.
an investment advisor is usually licensed not only to give the recommendation, which does require a license, but also is licensed to help you broker stocks or invest in products that can help you reach the goal. So I am, in fact, licensed to give advice,
Hmm.
but I'm also licensed to broker stock to help you get a life insurance plan, to help you invest in mutual funds or different vehicles that'll help you reach the goal.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that. Because I know a lot of people would think about like use them interchangeably, think it's the same. That's the first thing. Secondly, we'll also think that I can do stocks myself. I can do whole life insurance policy myself. I can do all of these things myself. The reality is, yes, you can. But with an advisor, it's more of a strategy. And because it's a long term planning, they'll help to keep you on track, which is needed. Just as if
Yeah.
you are an entrepreneur as well, you have a bookkeeper, an accountant, you have a team to guide you along the way. So, and I think
Mhm.
this is something that is needed, especially if we all want to build a legacy. Like we hear
Yes.
all these powerful stories. It's you got to put these things in place.
Mhm. So let me jump in there just like because that is the biggest thing I get. Oh, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
And you can go buy your own house. You can go invest in real estate.
Mhm.
You can even do your own root canal if you want to, but should you? Are you aware of the pros and cons of each decision that you're going to make?
Yeah.
I love when people say, "Oh, I'm investing well and my return is XYZ." I
Mhm.
said, "Do you feel comfortable enough to advise yourself when the market is down, when
Ooh.
your account is down 20%, y'all, which is a
Yeah.
bear market? You know, are you comfortable with your decision making during times of crisis when you're
Mhm.
emotionally tied to the
Yeah.
investment?" And that's what I ask people. Hey, if you can go with it. But the wealthy, the savvy have a dream team, y'all. And that's what makes the difference between, the investors and the champions. Because
Yeah.
there's only 24 hours in a day. And I rather spend my time doing the things that I am passionate about and good at and
Yeah.
leave the other things to the other people who are passionate about it.
And you're so right about that because with the space that I'm in, and I'm always raising capital from investors and some of my investors as well, I can present them an opportunity. And it's always, let me go talk to my financial advisor. Let me go talk to my investment advisor first. And then when you try to get to persons who are cutting even bigger checks, they do have that person that is guiding their investment strategies, because at the end of the day, what I've realized, they want to stick to a plan. They have a plan to get to that legacy.
Absolutely.
But here's my
Does it
thing.
tie into your plan? You could
It
be
ties
off road.
in. Listen, but
You could be off road when it comes to the strategy. Be like, oh my goodness, it sounds good, but is it tied to your mission?
listen,
Is it tied to your purpose?
yes.
You
But
know?
even with that too, like I would think that, okay, I need to be wealthy. Like what I've seen is most persons who have an investment advisor, again, they have a certain amount of assets. They have a certain level of net worth, right? So they have that person. But for the person who they either feel embarrassed or they feel like they're behind financially, or I'm making less than six figures, right? Where do you recommend that they start from? Like if someone like that walk into your office or reach out to you on social media and be like, okay, I'm not there yet. How do I start?
Great question. Great question. So let me answer your question with a question
Okay.
first. If I have less, am I more likely to do better with a professional and decrease my risk of loss versus someone who has more? And they can say, yeah, well, they got more to, if they have more, they have more to lose, quite potentially, but it
Yeah.
won't hurt as much.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I tell people, if you are making less than six figures, I think you would benefit more
Mm-hmm.
from someone who has 10x, 60x, 100x in disposable income, right? Because
Yeah.
their loss may not hurt as much as your loss.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say loss, it's not just due to a decrease in value of your investments. You may lose opportunity. A
Oh,
financial advisor could put you onto opportunities that you may not be aware of.
yeah.
A financial advisor, again, can marry your passion with their expertise.
Mm-hmm.
And so where would someone get started less than six figures? And again, y'all, this is not advice.
Nice.
These are just thoughts that you to consider, right? A lot of times I say start with the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times that's yourself. You need to understand what you think about money.
Yeah.
What do you want to use it for?
Mm-hmm.
You really have to identify your fears first. And is that fear impeding you from reaching the goal? Because honestly, psychologically, that's where a lot of people need to start.
Yeah.
I see something on the news and like, oh my gosh, I cannot do that. Or oh my gosh, let me call my stockbroker. Sell, sell, sell. The world is coming to an end. And I'm like, dude, like you don't even have that position in your portfolio. What are we talking about? You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? So you need that voice of reason sometimes with you. So honestly, it's not the financial I think is people should start with. It's the mental capacity. But then there are tools you can use to start small.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? Compound interest works. 10% of 1,000 is not the same as 10% of a million, but
Yeah.
guess what? It's the principle that you can still
Yes.
employ that helps you create a building block to
Hmm.
start and grow.
And I'm glad that you mentioned,
Not what you have, just use that.
can you expound on that a little bit more? Because people hear compound interest or start now, but again, they're like, but I only have $100. That can't do
Okay.
nothing. So I'm not even gonna start. I'm gonna wait until I have 50,000 or 100,000. Like,
Okay.
how would you even, what would you say to someone who has that mindset?
Yes, I love it. So, do we know any people that own sports teams? Now,
Own
y'all.
sports team?
Yes.
Oh no.
Okay, so maybe you don't know anybody personally,
Mhm.
but most people know sports and they know that they'll get this analogy.
Okay.
There are not many people who have enough wealth to own the sports team outright. They have fractional shares, right? They have partners. Everybody does, and everybody has their percentage, 10% owner, 20% owner, and it creates the 100% ownership of the team.
Yeah.
The same with investment. Say I only have 100%. You can buy a fractional share
Mm.
of an investment
Ooh.
and you can allow it to grow in such a manner that when you have more, then you can do more, with it. You can further diversify and all those kind of things. But you just start with what you have and you allow it to grow. And then when it makes that 2%, you got $102, you say yippee. You don't eat the seed. And when I'm at speaking engagement and they bring me in, I usually have visuals. And one of the visuals I have are the seeds.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't have generational wealth because we eat the seed.
Mm. Ooh, so can you say that again? Say that
A
again.
lot of times we don't have generational wealth. We don't have advancement in our retirement funds. You know, we don't have you know, uh, in our play investment funds because we eat the seed. Like, oh my gosh, it grew $2, it grew $2,000, it grew $25,000, and we take it out immediately and we eat it.
Yeah.
We go buy a Louis Vuitton or we go to Bali or the things that we do because we love it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, y'all. Live, work hard, play hard. I'm a big proponent. But for some pots, you just got to let it sit and grow. I tell people all the time, like, we are not deep frying up in here. This is all crock pot cooking, okay? You got to let it simmer. You got to let it simmer. And going back to the original analogy, if you put the seed in the ground, one seed, it can sprout
Hmm.
a tree that has many fruit.
Yeah.
Not just one orange. You plant an orange seed in the ground, the tree is going to sprout, but it's going to have oranges. That's
Hmm.
the compounding effect of interest. But if we take one orange and we eat the fruit, and then we gulp the seeds down, and that
And we
sounds
gotta start
weird, but
over.
that's what we do, y'all.
Yeah.
If we take a fruit and we eat all the seeds too, we don't have anything to replant, to
Hmm.
invest. And if you want to get that tree with many oranges, you have to plant the
Yes.
seed and leave it
Ah,
until it sprouts.
I'm so
And
glad
then
that
you have many
you,
oranges, and then you can take them. Okay?
that's like a perfect analogy because this is something I hear get thrown around so many times. Oh, I want to build generational wealth. But I've had so many conversations, and I'm gonna just put that like with people that look like me, black people, right? And they will talk about I'm building generational wealth. Or I'm breaking that. Yes, we get the breaking the curse portion of it, but what you just said with building, like you have to plant that seed, but when you start seeing it grow, don't eat it
Don't eat it.
because you have to start over, right?
Yes.
And that's the thing, I think people miss that portion of it
Yes.
is the building part over time. When you're building wealth for the next generation and your family, it is building. So which I want to ask you now, like, how, apart from not eating the oranges,
Don't eat the oranges until you have more than one orange. You
listen,
got three oranges. Eat
listen,
one, save
now
two.
we need to draw the brakes and stop, right, from eating the orange. What else can we truly do if or families are earning less than six figures, to really build generational wealth. And I'll throw some things out there that I'm
Yes,
personally doing, right?
I got
Where
I
I'm
gotcha.
setting
No,
up things of retirement, in my
I got
retirement
you. Here we
account,
go.
a retirement account, like funds for my brother. He's less than 18. They have like
Mhm,
529.
mhm.
Yes, we do real estate and have assets, but there are other things that you can do. So what else can persons truly, what, like, give me some things that
Okay.
really do.
Most of us work. I don't care your wage. I don't care your net worth.
Mhm.
Most of us work. Most of us who work have a 401k
Yeah.
or a retirement plan at the business. How about that? At the place we work, employer retirement plan. People are going to be like, that's not wealth building. Yes, it is. Why? And this is also the secret. Remember, I told you time is a secret to grow well?
Mm-hmm.
Automation is also the secret to grow wealth.
Ooh.
A lot of times we won't start an investment account outside of our job because we're like, oh, it's going to take money that I don't have. But guess what? From your paycheck, they're already automating two things at least:
Ah,
the payroll taxes, because they know you won't pay them, and your 401k savings. Like there's even a mandate, I think, now that was just passed recently too through the big beautiful bill. One big beautiful bill is what they're calling it. So that they were pretty much mandating people or your employer to help you put that away because they know people aren't doing it.
yeah.
Okay, so this is the thing though, y'all. You're like, "Well, why is that a generational wealth builder?" One, because it's automated. It's coming out of every paycheck. You're not gonna miss it. Go ahead and live on the rest. Let them take your taxes and let them take your retirement money. Why? Because when you put that money away into an employer retirement plan, it's being invested.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize that's an investment that you already have, and most of us have one.
Yeah.
You put that in, it's being invested. Guess what? That compound interest is just churning and it's growing and it's getting bigger. Is it going to fluctuate? Yes, y'all. It's like weight loss, okay? You get with the trainer, you want to lose 10 pounds, but before you get to the whole 10, you lose two, you gain one, you lose three, you lose a half of one, right? So just go with the flow, right? This is aggregate.
I love
So,
it.
but everybody, I won't say everybody, most working class people, right? Because we're not talking about the millionaires or the uber wealthy, but everybody lower middle class and under six figures has a employer retirement plan. Put that money away. Don't touch it. Act like it doesn't exist. Because when you get to a certain age, you can begin to pull from those compounded savings and you can begin to do different things with
Thanks.
them. But for now, just let it sit and cook.
Yeah.
And everybody has that. And the earlier you start,
Mm-hmm.
the greater the chance will be that it is going to grow to
Yeah.
something amazing. So
Ah,
18-year-olds, when you first start working, put something away. It doesn't have to be the max, y'all. We can do like 26,000 a year in your savings now. If you can't start there, start small.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
start with a few $100s. It doesn't matter because if you start earlier, you have to save less and
Yes.
it'll grow
It was
over
good.
time. Okay. So
It was.
that's something that everybody can literally start today. They're like, oh, I can't afford to live off it. You can't afford
You
not to.
can. Listen, all the things
You're
that
gonna be working there till you 90.
I was like,
You
I
know?
wish I knew so many of these things when I just got to the US. Of course, like I did not grow up with a system. A lot of things I had to figure it out on my own. But I
Yes.
still wish that I knew about these things 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when I even when I started working to put money aside, because we think that to save, you just only put money in your saving account, or like me when I just started, you can save your yourself through wealth, but you
Yes.
can't.
Hmm.
You literally can, which even brings me to my point of view as well, like, or my next question rather. I'm an entrepreneur. Most of my audience are also self-employed, right? And I think a lot of persons, you start this business to either work for yourself, or you want time freedom, you want to make a lot of money. And then for entrepreneurs too, when they make profit, or they're like, I still don't want to invest yet, or I need to make a certain amount of profit before I start investing. You work with entrepreneurs as well. What's like the money conversation like that you have with them?
Money conversation, y'all. Listen close right now. Yes, all of us are in business to make money and make more money, more money, more money. Your systems, though, bad systems in your business will not only kill the business, it will kill your legacy.
Yeah.
So, what I'm finding with most entrepreneurs, they do not save for retirement. 80%, the last time I looked at the statistics, 80% of entrepreneurs do not have a retirement plan.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why that's bad in a second. And then the second, they're always underinsured. Not always. Don't use superlatives, right? Most have no retirement savings and most have no life insurance.
Mm.
For the retirement plan, that's also a business deduction. Working people, they can't deduct their 401k savings. They can't, they can't write it off. Guess
Yeah.
what, entrepreneurs? You can write off the same vehicle that's going to help you build wealth. Come on, somebody.
Ooh.
That's a win win.
Ooh. That's a
You get a
yes.
tax deduction that lowers your taxable income, but
Hmm.
it's for you.
Yeah.
It's for you to save to build wealth. 80%, y'all, don't have a retirement plan through their business. And guess what? You can put as little as 3%,
Amen.
2% into a retirement vehicle to get started.
Hmm.
Again, y'all, a little bit goes a long way. But for entrepreneurs, that's magnified because you have the deferral, which is what you're putting away, but then you also have a business deduction. So that's a win-win.
A win-win. It's a
Okay?
full
So
win-win.
that is a problem for entrepreneurs. You have to do it too. We get away with it in, when we work 8 to 5 because they do it involuntarily. You have to think. You have to think
Yeah.
like a manager. You have to think, oh, it's my business. Well, is it? We're gonna talk about that, I think, as we get on
Oh,
that. No, is it? Is it really? You know, you are
yes.
actually creating risk in your business when you don't
Yes.
set up systems to put money aside.
You know that you just said that because we open our business and at the beginning, you're going to work more than you're going to work to 24 hours, right? And that's understandable.
Yes,
But it's like we get to a point where we need to switch, like that light bulb moment needs to go off to be like, this is no longer a one man business. I'm trying to build a company. So now you have to change that mindset and be like, okay, when I used to work my 9 to 5, I had to set up, as you said, deduct money, 401k from my paycheck. Now, when I start employing people, right, I
hmm,
need to do the same thing. Maybe you're an employee of your company. Maybe you need to restructure. So you're an employee of your company. And then those deductions start coming out. So,
that's
again,
right.
which is why it's important to have a rock star team. You really cannot do everything on your own. You need
Teamwork
some,
makes the dream work, y'all.
yeah.
It also helps you to build a strong business.
Listen,
Do you
there's
want to
so
be
many.
self-employed? People love saying that. Oh, I'm my own boss. I'm self-employed. That's not savvy.
No.
Bezos got a team, people.
That was
you
me.
know,
I
Talisa
used
Carter got a team.
I used
You
to
know,
brag about that. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm
that's how
my
all of us
own
are. Oh,
boss.
I'm my own boss, and that's not even true either. Because guess what, y'all? As many clients as you have, those are all your bosses.
Yes.
So we
Listen,
say that that's the
guys,
dream of entrepreneurship, and it's just so wrong. It's just such a misnomer.
it's so crazy because
But y'all,
I
think
used to think
about
that
it.
too.
Amazon,
Yeah,
teamwork.
team. Yeah,
You
it's not a one
scale when
man
you have a
show.
team. When you got those 4 C's in place, y'all. I hope you're taking notes tonight
Mhm.
because this is good stuff for the free.
Yeah,
Human capital. That's your team.
yeah.
That's the team that's going to get it all done. You need that HR person. You need that finance person. You need that legal person. One to keep you out of trouble, but the two to build the business strong. Client capital. You need people who say, "Oh my gosh, what Kalisha has, I must have it. I'm
Hmm.
going to pay her to get it."
Yeah. Listen.
Client capital, structural capital, y'all. I don't care if you just started that business. You need a good human resources um, system. You need a good accounting system.
Hmm.
You need a good marketing system. You're like, I don't have money for all those. Start it at your level of budget and
Yes.
then allow it to expand as the company expands. But you need all
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
You need it all, and then the social capital, right? Just
That's good.
again, that reputation getting out there, that visibility growing. The four C's, y'all.
Yeah.
That's how people
Listen.
build big business.
And I think it's before we even switch over to the next segment of the show, it's really, guys, if you are, whether you're watching this now or you're watching this later or even listening to it, also you can drop your questions in the chat. If you guys have a question from what Natalie said and you want clarification, drop it in. But I think one of the biggest thing for me was when I started my business, it was okay, it's me. And when persons talk about, you need a, as you just said, an HR, a legal person, a finance, and a marketing, accountant, I heard all of that. And to be honest, I got very overwhelmed. I just thought that I had to have a lot of capital to hire all those persons full time. I thought that was the case. Did I lose? Natalie, are you still here? I think I lost you. Oh, I lost her for a little bit. Oh, she's here. Perfect. Okay. So, Natalie, are you here? Did I lose you? I don't want to lose her. If you guys are seeing her, or maybe it's on my end, let me know. If you are seeing her, if you're not seeing her, let me know in the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I'll continue until she comes back up. But I think one of the thing was that I was saying was when I started really, it was very overwhelming, right? And I thought that I had to have a lot of capital to hire these persons to pay for them. And I was like, I can't do that right now. But one thing I've learned is you always want to have an idea of what your organizational structure, or you're still here. Natalie, are you hearing me? Let me know if you're hearing me as well. um I have to have a organizational structure, like have it in the back of my mind, so when the time is right, then I would have these resources and I could start thinking about it, so when the opportunity presented itself, I can know that, oh, I think I will need a marketing system as well. I'm not hearing you, Natalie, or I'm not seeing you at all, you're frozen. But one of the book that also really helped me to figure this out, which was E-Myth Revisited, which really helped me to envision, if I had the perfect business, what would that look like? What would my team look like? And the moment I read that book, it gave me like a little bit of peace of mind to start thinking about those things as well. So let's see if we she's frozen on. Okay, Natalie, if you're still frozen. So let's see. You can always jump out and jump back in. Either one works, because I know like Brenna had a question um as well. But yeah, I read E-Myth Revisited, and E-Myth was something that it was by Michael Gerber. It was something that opened my eye. It was like, if you had the perfect business or a genie and you had the perfect team, what would that team look like? And even though I was just starting out, I kind of map out what my team would look like. And it's like, okay, now I started getting that little confidence in myself and what I'm trying to build and believing in my business. And I was like, oh, this definitely makes a lot of sense as well. And this is something that I feel comfortable to do and to build as well. So I know Brianna have a question. So hopefully when she jumps back in, she can get that question answered for you, because that's a really good question. I hear a lot of people share that as well. So hopefully she can answer that. Okay, there
She
she
can
is.
answer
Perfect.
that. Okay, there she is.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome.
Awesome.
Let's
That is
do.
so wild because I could hear you the whole time.
Do you want to
Do you
do?
want to do?
I'm hearing an
I'm hearing
echo.
an echo. Oh yeah, hold on, let me do that.
Let's do, if you, because I can do it
I
on
can do it
your
on
end.
your end.
Let me talk again.
Let me talk again.
Oop, it's the same.
Oop, is the same.
Oopsie.
It won't let me do the echo cancellation this time.
Same. But
Same.
don't worry, it's technology.
Technology.
Oh. work around it.
Oh, because we're recording now. Won't let us
Yeah.
change while recording.
So Brianna question was what to do about a 401k account from an employer 5 years ago. She said, I became a mom after, should I leave it
So good question, y'all. Because again, we're talking about that's a great tool that most people have to build wealth.
there?
Four things you can do within what we call an old 401k or old employer retirement plan. That's the general term. You can leave it there. It's going to sit there. It's going to continue to grow with whatever investments you left in that pot when you left. For the most part, it's not being monitored. You're usually not getting any advice on it. They're definitely not going to contribute any more money to it. And for the most times, you're not contributing any money to it either.
Hmm.
But you can leave it there as long as the company will allow you. Sometimes they close them down and make you take it.
Okay.
You can leave it there. You can roll it over to a new employer. In this case, you're a stay at home mom. You did not return to the workforce. But if you went to a new job, you can usually roll it over to the new plan. You can also cash it out. You can just say, hey, I'm leaving. I'll take the money and run. If you are not 59 and a half, you will then be taxed on that money. And then you'll be taxed on it anyway. If you're not 59 and a half, you will pay an extra penalty because you're using retirement money before retirement time. Y'all keep that in
Mm.
mind. When you use retirement money before retirement time, there's usually a penalty. And then the fourth is you can roll it over into an outside investment firm that is not tied to your employer. So you can have a financial advisor to help you manage that money. So those are the four things that you can usually do with that money. Great question.
Brianna, hopefully that was help. Drop it in the chat if it was. Okay. So I want to switch the segment a little bit. Ooh, got echoing. Are you
I
still hearing it
know.
too?
Yeah, because we're
Let us see. Okay. There you go. So I know what I'm going to do. All right. So one of the things is that a lot of the listeners as well, like a lot of my listeners, they have financial advisors, or maybe they are also thinking of investing, right? But they do have their financial advisor or investment advisor. Let's use both words, right? Because everyone has different things. So we're going to use both words, right? And a lot of person look on real estate investment as a form of alternative investment, and some they're already doing it. But for those who are not, right? What, why are, and this is something that's very common too, right? Why is it so many financial advisors or even investment advisors are hesitant when it comes on to alternative investment for their clients? Because I see that's very common.
so great question. And again, y'all, this is just for consideration. This is not all investment firms. This is not all investment advisors. It's not all financial advisors. Number one, you simply don't know. Historically, if you didn't have a security that was backed by real estate, you just did not know how they operated. Or some alternative, because there are, lots of alternatives, considerations these days, not just real
Mhm.
estate. You just don't know. So they're not going to advise you on something that they don't know about, most likely, right? But then real estate, and especially, kind of has a face all its own. It kind of, some move with the economy, some don't. Some move with the market, some don't. And so, again, just because it just wasn't, no, it just wasn't a part of the normal portfolio.
Mhm.
And honestly, we'll just stick with those two. I think that those are some of the main ones. Just they don't know, or just that because the way it moved. But now it is more common, it is more prevalent, and you can use it as a part of your diversity play, right? We all hear that word diversity, y'all, and it doesn't mean like having money all over the place, at this investment advisor, this because you don't even know how, you may end up paying more because you have more money everywhere. But we're talking about asset classes. When we're talking about diversity, you want to have diversity in your asset classes. So that could be stocks, that could be real estate, that could be even cryptocurrencies and those kind of things. So different asset classes move different.
Exactly.
They have a different risk profile. They have, different rates of returns. And so, you can mix and match according to your unique preference to create, um, you know, not just wealth, but just create an appreciation of your asset, right? So I caution people about that all the time. I call it water cooler talk. And I started that term when I used to do taxes because people be like, oh, I got $25,000 refund check. Like, and then, the people run to you like, oh, you got that for her? Let me
Mm,
get that for me too. And I'm like, well, hold on. Do you have kids? Well, no. Do you have a business? Well, no. Do you give anything to charity? Well, no.
yeah.
Then you may not have those same opportunities. And a lot of people don't have the same risk profile,
Mhm.
because even people will come to me and like, what are you invested in? And I usually don't tell people because you may not have the same risk tolerance. I can stand for it to go up this much or drop this much because and it doesn't move me. I'm gonna go and sleep, roll over and snore. But you may be up biting your nails, calling your investment advisor again, sell, sell. So you have to know how much you
Mhm.
can stand, but also how much you should stand because some people don't take enough risk in order for it to grow to reach their goals.
Yeah.
Some people take too little risk and then they're going to have a problem, because it grows, but not as much as they
Not as
needed
much.
it to. So that's the difference between risk tolerance and risk capacity.
So even with that too, like I think you have some persons where they're advisors. I'm just going to use the word advisor in this case, who will be like, no, stay away from that asset class, as you call it. Don't do this. But sometimes they're very passionate about that asset class, where they're really about it. How can they navigate that conversation, or like conducting due diligence and safeguards that they can truly put in place, because they've done, maybe they've done their research as well, but trying to convince their advisor that, hey, I think this is something that we really need to consider.
So again, that is a very great question. And interviewing your advisor, just like you would interview your doctor, interview your lawyer, it is important that you ask them those questions. What are your philosophies? How long have you been in the industry? Um, what is your knowledge about X, Y, Z, A, B, C? But then also the firm that they work for. There, people think, oh, I'm going to, Kalisha Carter firm because I've heard about it on TV. Well, guess what? Some of them may not do certain investments.
Yeah,
And so it's very important that you know not only the profile of the professional, the financial professional that you're using, you should also know the mission of the advising company or the brokerage firm that you're using because they're not really all created equal.
that's true.
Some do different things, some invest in different things, some, have a specialty.
Hmm.
And so those are very important questions to ask when you are going, to an investment firm. What's your specialty? How long have you been around? And those will help you know
Hmm.
because again, it's like a relationship, y'all. Y'all know in dating, right? It's a man is not just a man, not a man. You need to know
Yeah,
where he's from. We need to know what he likes. How did he treat his mama? All these things you need to know. You got to do the interview. So that's the same, y'all, with investment advisories too. You have to do the interview, and then based on your values,
hmm,
based on your goals is where you should land because it is very much a relationship and you could get into a situationship, so you need to be very careful when you're going ahead and do your interview.
oh gosh, I love that. The fact that you said to do an interview is so crucial, because as you said, like, we will maybe go with the big company as well, because yeah, they have the reputation, but there are certain things you have to consider, as you said, like, are their goals in alignment with mine, based on your risk tolerance and the things that you like to invest in. Do they even believe in that specific asset class? Because if they don't, you're gonna have a hard time, and then you're gonna be like, well, all in, and then you're gonna put all advisors in one box, because you had such a bad experience with one person, and then you make it hard for someone else. So that was a really good point, Natalie, to interview your advisors, like to see if you guys are a good fit and do your own research as well as to the type of asset class that you truly want to invest in. So I know we're coming close to an end. Did I just say close to an end? Does that make sense? Close to an end? I don't know. I don't know. But guys, if you have
We
more
can come
questions,
close to an end.
close to an end, right? I don't know. Just drop it in the chat. But we're gonna do a quick rapid fire with Natalie, real quick, right? And it's really like the first thing that comes, the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay.
Okay, before we do rapid chat, do you want to get that question in the chat?
Oh yes, that's the one that you
Before
answered.
we do rapid fire, sorry.
Oh no, that's the one that you answered about the transfer with the 401k.
Oh, okay.
So you're good. Let me see if I missed
I'll
anyone.
stop trying to moderate.
Oh no, you're good. You are totally fine. Oh, we actually had comments here. Ah, oh, honey, thank you. Love
Hey,
this.
y'all.
Okay. Why do I forgot to share these things all the time? All right. So rapid fire. Favorite book or podcast that shifted your money mindset? The
The
auto.
Automatic Millionaire, David Bach. Read it, get it. Y'all see it's ragged. It's for everybody.
Love it. One financial habit every family should start today.
Start today. Start today. One of my mentors said when he gets in front of a client, he gives them the pros and the cons, and then he says, do something today.
I love that. Okay.
Yes.
The most underrated skill for building generational wealth.
Automate.
Mm.
Automation.
Ooh.
Automation.
All right. Golf, I know the answer to this one. Golf, writing, or family time? What's your favorite way to reset?
I know I saw that. I'm sorry, family. It is golf. Sorry. I love you so much. But
But she
golf.
loves golfing.
Golf, golf, and golf.
Okay. One word that describes the legacy you want to leave.
Infectious.
Excellent.
Everywhere I go, I want to infect people. Infect, yes, I said it like a sore, like a flu, like a virus. I want to infect people to live on purpose, in purpose, and strategically position your assets to live your best life.
Oh, I love that. Strategically position your assets to live your best life.
Yes, ma'am.
Love that. Love that. Well, Natalie, this conversation has been truly incredible, right? You talked about money, you shared your wisdom, your structure, mindset that truly shapes how we think about legacy when we want to invest, and really build that generational wealth as well. So to everyone listening, take this as your sign to start planning, start investing, as Natalie said, start today, start leading your family into a new financial chapter, quarter, whatever it is. We're going into 2026. Natalie, one more thing. How can persons connect with you on social?
Yes. So I am out there, y'all. Freedom Financial Consulting. So it's out there on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I think we did the LinkedIn today. TikTok, we're working on getting all out there on all of those, y'all. So yes, Freedom Financial Consulting. And you'll see my cute picture.
I
The
love
same
it.
one that was on the flyer
See, there
for
you guys
Legacy. So
go.
look us up and you may reach out.
All right, guys. So go ahead, follow Natalie, tap into her work, set up a consultation with her, and get some advice. All the information will be in the show notes as well. So you guys definitely check that out. Thank you everyone for listening. And remember, like legacy isn't built by accident. It's built by intention, it's built by faith, it's built by strategy and action. And until next time, you guys, keep building, keep growing, and keep protecting what matters. Have a good night, you guys.